The past 2 years on the road has taught us about so many different types of off-grid rigs. Today, let's jump into Mario's awesome box truck conversion.
All right, guys, I'm Mario, and I live full-time in this 24-foot box truck conversion. It's off-grid, and why don't you guys come on inside and let me show you the inside. We have our residential door. It is metal, and we have siding here, commercial grade residential siding, and we have a screen here, and our vent is right here as well. Come on inside and so you guys can see inside. So coming in, we're gonna start actually from the top, and we're gonna work our way down. We have a drop ceiling on the top, which is pretty high, but this is where our garage door comes up, and we have pot lights inside the ceiling, and we do have insulation in here. We also have our cabinets. These are reclaimed cabinets. They are plastic on this side, metal up underneath, and metal on the sides. We made our NASA engineered door cabinet holders. Those things work perfectly. So if you guys are interested, you know, you're gonna contact NASA for those. Moving on, we have our toaster oven right here, and that plugs into the wall. It's a regular 110 outlet plug. And we do have storage that we found from some store underneath those. And our walls on this side of the kitchen is made of pallets. So we took pallets, broke them down, and we use that as our walls. And we do have insulation, foam board insulation on the inside of the walls. So as you come over here to our walls, you'll see that we have a magnetic holder for our knives, all of our cutlery. And we do have a stainless steel backsplash for our stove. We have a residential propane 5-burner stove. So we did convert this over to propane. We got it off Amazon. And we also right here, right by our key hook, we have a fan, you know, for venting out the exhaust. So let me talk about our countertop. Our countertop is actually not marble or granite. It was a piece of wood that we tore down a building, so we try to incorporate as much reclaimed material as possible. We tore down a building and we used the wood from, it was a huge door from the early 1920s. It was a very, very huge door. So we took that and cut it down and put this material on top of it to make our granite style look. Underneath, we have a cabinet or a bench that we got out of a garage. We purchased it secondhand from someone's garage. It was hideous in color. It was a very, very ugly sky blue, and it's went through multiple different changes and colors. We added a farm style or farmhouse sink, whichever one it is. If you guys comment below if you know what it is. And we have an on-demand hot water heater with 100 gallons of fresh water. So all of our pots and pans and utensils, the utensils that are not up on the wall, the utensils are actually right here. Our pots and pans would be underneath here in our drawers. Our drawers are not on rollers. They're just held together by friction. So microwave works completely off grid. And if I gotta say it again, we are off grid. Solar panels on the roof, and we do have our crock pot here. We have plenty of food storage here, and underneath here we have another pot, some cleaning supplies, and this is our water filtration system that you can basically filter any kind of water besides salt water, I believe. Our pots and pans, so there's nothing that we are missing. More like a residential house. We have everything that you would have in your house here, even baking pans to bake with, mashed potato, and my favorite thing, your pizza cutter. So we have all of that. Let's go over on this side and I'll show you guys our dining room area. We have speakers, a couple 6x9 speakers on this side, that side. We have a 12-inch subwoofer, and our seats do come up for storage. This tabletop goes up and down and doubles as a bed. We've never used it as a bed. Never had anyone stay. That's too many people for too small of a space, so we don't do that. But this doubles as our dining room and to our office. So I try to do most of my video editing here, which I usually don't do, but here's the space for it. We do have a curved monitor here for our video editing. I use this area for my wrestling pictures and wrestling sports programs that from older years. And this is where, up here, the cabinets are where we keep all of our glassware, and we do travel with glass plates, bowls, and cups. And we do have extra storage up here. This is so great that we found these because it adds all of our snacks and junk food that we shouldn't have. Underneath is where I don't want to show, underneath our table, because that's where we throw all of the stuff, the extra stuff, our shoes, extra crock pot, everything that you have no space for. This side of the dinette set, this bench opens up as well. And under here is where we keep our Victron power inverter. Underneath there, we do have a outlet here. So when we sit on the couch, we can plug our phones up, and we have a vent right there to blow out the hot air that comes off the Victron when we hook up shore power. Right here we have our battery monitor for our charge controller. And this wall here is not reclaimed material. The wall and the ceiling, let's start with that. It's not reclaimed. I got these panels from a hardware store and we put those up. Some stuff is reclaimed, but a lot of stuff isn't. This bench, this whole setup is custom made. We built this ourselves. The table, the seats, it's all custom made. The only thing that we purchased from the store was the shaft that holds the table up that goes up and down. So moving here in our living room, we have more cabinets, and we use these cabinets for pretty much our clothes, winter clothes. So this is mine, this is girlfriend's, and we do have, I believe it's called an egress window. It's this one you can push out, jump out the window. I'd hate to be that person that does if you had to. This couch is a RV couch. We bought that from a RV camper van surplus store, and it does lift up. It's a jackknife couch. We keep all of our solar and batteries down here. We have 400 amp hours of power here at 12 volts. We have 700 watts of solar on the roof. In our living room here, we do have our refrigerator. But above the refrigerator, we have our mini split. Next to our mini split, we have our television, which is not 12 volt. This is actually a 110, and it has a CD player on there, a DVD player. So the refrigerator is a 10 cubic foot DC refrigerator, DC only. It's not propane, and it's only 12 volt. Underneath our refrigerator, we have storage underneath, which allows us to have extra clothes underneath here. Out of our refrigerator, we do have spots for our broom and our lines for our mini split, and we do keep extra grocery store bags on the side here. We haven't built our shelves there yet. We're gonna build some shelves and a slide out pantry. We just haven't got to it yet. Moving on to back to our living room here. We have a hotspot for our internet. We keep here by the window. And this, my friend Steve built this. He actually helped me build the whole thing. So, and I did all the electrical, all the plumbing. Steve helped me build a lot of this stuff, the custom built stuff. So he built this. I wired it all up with the lights. We have storage in each slot. When my girlfriend moved in, we didn't have this here, and she absolutely needed storage. So you have closet, you have a shelf here, which I keep my cowboy hat in here, my Starlink stuff right there, and there's a light here, another light here. As we move on, there are steps to go up to the next level. Each step has storage, and we do have another 6x9 here for our radio. We have storage here as well, which is a lot of our things that we don't use on a day-to-day basis. We have steps here, and the steps underneath each step is storage as well, which we keep all of our toiletries and different things we use for cleaning. We have another speaker here as well, another 6x9. We have the radio here. Underneath here is our 100-gallon freshwater tank. So that's where all our fresh water is. And we did, since we enclosed that in, we decided to make this a shelf that stretches from this side all the way to that side of the truck, from the left to the right side. And we have a shelf on the top. So this is where I keep all of my clothes, socks and underwear. We just keep the curtain there to close it off. As my girlfriend has to have so many pieces of clothes and a lot of stuff. These are her 3 drawers, plastic tote bin drawers. On this wall right here, coming up from there, we have our switches. So this middle switch we use for our water pump, and the other switch is for a light that goes underneath, and all the rest of the switches just don't do anything. Smoke detector here, and for our mini split, we have our control right there, so we can just control it from the bed. This is the controller for the diesel heater, and the diesel heater, the control is actually underneath this this cabinet here that we built, and the mini split is underneath the couch. This is our bathroom, which we pretty much always leave open, unless, you know, well, even when we're driving, we leave it open. No real need to close it. And going into our bathroom, so coming into our bathroom, it is not big at all. You only have space to twirl around and maybe sit down. That's about it. We do have a full shower, which is more space in the shower than it is in this area. We do have the on-demand hot water heater, as I said before, and some things we keep our dirty clothes in here. We use paper mulch for our toilet. We use bucket for the toilet. Works perfect for us. Keep the shower curtain on there. In the bathroom here, we have a sink, full operating sink with hot water in it. We have our washing machine here, which we don't get a lot of use out of, but when we need to, we have it to use. We have one light for up there, which are 3 lights. Then we have another light here for underneath our medicine cabinet, and we have towels for the beach. Whenever we go to the beach and hang out, we have our towels for that. We have a plug-in here if you need to plug in anything, and we have a plug-in underneath the counter as well. Toilet paper holder, another storage for toilet paper, and then we also have our fire extinguisher underneath, and a towel rack holder that comes out, and you can put about 4 towels on there. The vent for the bathroom. I believe that is it for the bathroom. So in our bedroom, we have a queen size bed, which this is the overhang on the cab of the truck. It actually comes to about right here. We had to extend it out another 1.5 feet, I believe, to make sure we were able to fit a queen size bed up here, which allowed us to have the space for the 100-gallon water tank that's underneath and our storage. So that's the purpose of this step. Underneath our bathroom, which I didn't mention, is our 40-gallon gray water tank. So that's why we have a step up for that, and why we have our water tank underneath there. So we have our queen size bed here. Back there is our headboard. So the headboard is at the side of the bed, so that should be a sideboard, not a headboard. We have our cell phone chargers. We have storage up at the top of the bed. We have storage, and on this side going across, basically this storage is for like pockets for you to put your phones in. And we have the fan right there, 12-volt fan. We have our TV. We have our TV here, and you can step up, get up here. We keep our extra blankets at the end of the bed because sometimes it gets super cold at night, depending on where you're at, and you don't want to get up and put the diesel heater on. So you just grab an extra blanket. Everything here, all of our lights are ran off 12-volt. And when you have company come over, you're able to shut this off. You're able to close that off when you have company, and boom, it's closed off. So that's what that bar is for. So to separate the room. Our truck here, it's a 24-foot box truck. So we have, from the door, we went inside the door, we went 1.5 feet in. So we have basically about 20 feet from our door to our bed. And then our overhang, you have about another 5 feet, 4.5, 5 feet there. Our width is I believe we're at 7.5 feet wide, and we're at 8.5 feet tall. So we do have quite a bit of space here. And our bathroom, I don't remember the dimensions, but I remember it's super small. But it works though, everything works. So there is enough space here to move around and spin around and have multiple people in here. We've had at least 8 people in here at one time looking at the place. Got a little packed, but it's quite a bit of space. All right, now that you guys have checked out the inside, it's time for you guys to come outside and let's go over the outside so you can see what we did on the outside of this truck. This is what we got here. I'm a Ford guy that's owning nothing but Chevys. I can't complain. This has a Caterpillar engine in it. It is a beast with the Allison transmission, slower than molasses, but this thing, it works, it runs, it's super reliable. And we do have our overhang. This was formerly a moving truck, but now it's a home. And we do have LED lights on here. Changed out the mirrors. That's pretty much the only thing that we've done to the front of this truck. And besides putting on $5,000 worth of tires. Yeah. Let's move on to the side here. And this, we took this step away because we don't really use this step. We took out the back seat. So we put a bin in here, and this bin is for our hoses, our electrical cords, and that kind of stuff. Underneath here on the side is where we bought toolbox mounts, and we decided to use the toolbox mounts and put wood and mount the wood on here and use the bins that we already previously had for our storage. Strap them down, works great, and we're able to keep all of the extra stuff that we have to carry with us. Tools and other things, outdoor light. We have a 5-gallon fuel can here that we strap down. That's for our diesel heater. This is the exhaust for the diesel heat. And this is the dump for the gray water, your air inlet for your diesel heat. Another storage bin, that's for our outside stuff. We keep lights and everything else with us. There's that. Let's move on to the back. This is our shore power. So we have a 30 amp here, a 15 amp here, and then we have our outlet here. So you can plug in, and this is where I usually charge my e-bike, which we don't have with us today. We got Yokohama tires. We just put those on. Those things, whew, pretty expensive. More storage here. This is our fuel can for our generator, which we hardly ever use. This is another garbage can for stuff we got to put in here, little one, and our storage tote bin. Let's go around the back. And the back here, we'll start with these steps. These Columbus stairs are for a 5th wheel. They're supposed to be on a 5th wheel. We bought these secondhand, and they've been working amazing for us. We welded up a bracket so these fold up and down. And we welded up some chains so that when we put these on, we can hook them up and they stay on. So we do have two 30-gallon propane tanks, 30 pounds, 30 gallons, I think, They keep us for about 6 months with all of our shower, our hot water, the stove. I can't complain about this. Love those things. This siding we got for free, a whole box full of siding. And we were able to use that siding for this. The door as well, the door was for free. The window we paid for, that vent we paid for. The garage door, we also have where, when we are camped somewhere, that locks. We put another lock on here, and nobody knows that we're in here. And when we do that, we usually close this thing up like this, and you can't tell if it's locked or unlocked. And that's how we'll stealth camp when we go stealth camping. And when we stealth camp, we don't keep the flag out, and we use our blackout curtains though, so nobody sees that we're in here. So let's go around the side. Our grill is here, which We'll put that to the side. Our generator here, we have the Predator 3500 watt, which we only use to charge up our batteries when we don't have enough sun for about a good 2 days. So we're a little bit underpowered at 700 watts. We need a little more. We're working on that, but for right now, this is what we have to use when we need to charge back up. Let's move forward. And this is how we cool our rig with this, we'll say Zocop right now. So this Chinese brand Zocop Minisplit is how we cool our rig. It really isn't how we heat it. It is completely inefficient for that. We heat our rig with the diesel heater and we cool it off with this. This right here is our tool storage. We did put another bracket here for our tools. And this is that right here. So we have a couple tote bins for that. Works great. Let's move on down. The next step right here, the back step, we use this for storage as well for our fluids. Maybe trans fluid or any other for changing the oil for the generator. And behind there, we decided to use this spot behind the brackets for my fishing poles. I got about 15 fishing poles and got all the fishing poles, can't catch one fish, but they're back here though. So in our back seat here, we got our second refrigerator, which we use this as a deep freezer. Everything's still frozen in there, and we usually keep our extra meat in here, you know? But everything back there, we have electric back here, and between our truck and the cab, we have a line that goes in from the power inside the box to right here, and we do have an air conditioner, window unit air conditioner. We put a hole in the cab because this truck has no AC. So we needed AC, and that was our solution to cut a hole inside the truck. This is a Caterpillar engine, which I said before, so I believe that wraps this up. So you guys make sure you like and subscribe to Cream Base Bus. If you like my rig, you can follow us at Ruff Journeys. That's RUFF Journeys, JOURNEYS. You can find us on our next journey, and stay traveling.